Happy Monday. Welcome back to another full week of school. Today we're going to be carrying on with our health, chapter 3. So everyone, make sure you have your books handy. We're going to be working from page 71 and we're going to be carrying on with chapter 3. This will be the last week that we are on chapter 3, which means you will have a quiz to do. If you have not done quiz 2 yet, shame on you. But get it done, please. Otherwise you will be falling behind. So, my daughter drew on me. I want you to think about who are your best friends. What classmates at school do you hang out with? Do you have friends from other places? Maybe from your condominium, maybe from your swimming club, maybe from fencing. Okay? I want you to think about what characteristics do you bring to a friendship? What characteristics do you look for in friends? Okay? What characteristics are you not looking for? So take a moment and think about that. What do you bring to a friendship? Okay? So today we're going to be talking about peer relationships. Now I know some of you know what the word peer means, whereas others of you may not. So I'll just give you a quick definition. Peers, for you guys at this current stage in life, are your classmates, people who are the same age as you. But as you get older, your peer group will expand. For example, my peers would be your other high school teachers. So for example, Mr. Cowie, Mr. Hadlow, Dr. Chanel, Mrs. Bolan, they are my peers, but we are all quite different in age, in cultures, in backgrounds and education, but they are nonetheless my peers. So guys, on page 73, I have a couple of paragraphs that I would like you to read. It's about who your peers are and then about peer pressure. I know we've talked about this before. We talked about cheating in a test at school and if you would cheat or not, whether you'd give in to the peer pressure. So I would like you to read a little bit more about that on page 73. There is a chart, 2 boxes rather, look like that. I've put them in the bottom of the slide here. Positive peer pressure and negative peer pressure. So for example, if a friend, a peer, is encouraging you to try a new activity or a hobby or to study harder, that is what we call positive peer pressure. If someone is pushing you to cheat in a school test or to be horrible to a classmate, we call that negative peer pressure. I'd like you to go read this page for me, guys, page 73, please. Now, once you've read that, guys, on page 75, we've got the 5 C's to saying no. Caution, cool it, change the plan, catch you later, and call me. Okay, so I want you to read what it says under each of those 5 C's, and then I have an activity that I would like you to do. So, this chart I would like you to fill in. Okay, it's technology and peer pressure. So how does technology play a part in peer pressure? How do you think peer influence through social media and text exchanges is messaging, impacts your decision making? How does technology create positive and negative peer pressure? Write down an example of each. Okay, I will be checking up on this in next week's live session, so please ensure you do this activity. Now, guys, we're going to move on, talking about the way we handle disagreements, maybe with friends or family. I react very differently if I'm having an argument with a family member than if I'm having an argument with a colleague, okay? I have to be professional if I'm having a disagreement with a colleague. With a family, you can be more of yourself. So there are 5 different ways listed. We've got avoidance, accommodation, compromise, competition, and collaboration. Now, some of these, it makes more sense to use it in certain circumstances, and other times it doesn't work at all. Okay, so I would like you to read about this, guys. It's on for me it's page 76 and 77. It will go into a little bit more detail about each one. You can read it on the screen as well, because I have an activity that I would like you to do. Okay, so it says each strategy has an appropriate time and place. If you value a friendship, then avoidance is not the best approach. For For example, if you're walking down the street and someone calls you a name, a not very nice name, because you don't know them, you have no relationship with them, probably the best response is just to ignore them and carry on walking, going about your business, okay? But if a friend does something to you and if you avoid it, the friendship's just going to fall apart. So avoidance would not be the best solution for that. So there is a chart here with the 5 different ways of resolving conflict, and I want you to come up with an example, so something that happened and that you would use this method, and then the advantages, the pros of this method, and then the disadvantages, the cons. Okay, so this should take you about 10 minutes. If you can't do all of them, that's fine, but I would like you to at least try 2. Okay, so whether it be accommodation and compromise, or competition and collaboration, or other 2, okay? I would like you to come up with your own examples, the advantages and then disadvantages, and again we will go through that in next week's live session. Okay, so there is a little bit more I would like you to read about conflict resolution on page 78. It's in the Learn About It section. It shouldn't take you too long to read that, but before you do, I want to draw your attention to this part of the slide. It says key terms from this chapter: abuse, peer pressure, divorce, relationship, and values. I haven't written the definitions down because I want you to go and I want you to read what these key terms mean, and that can be done so on page 81. Page 80 and 81. Now, the reason why I'm bringing this to your attention is because, as I said, you do have a quiz to do. Now that we've finished chapter 3, you will have to do quiz 3. Now, in theory, you're meant to spend 1 minute per question on the quiz. And there are 20 questions, so give yourself 20 minutes to do it. I don't want you to start it and then go back to it next week, okay? Do it in one go. You can have your books open, you can read the key terms, okay? But try and get it done in one go. If you still have other work outstanding, please get that done. So, guys, I will see you in our live session later today to talk about what we did last week, 2 weeks ago. Bye.